Welcome to this presentation. It's entitled Social Housing and Shared Ownership, an update for conveyancers. This session is going to be brought to you by myself, Stephen Desmond. There's a lot of information to update you about. I'll briefly mention certain changes to the statutory lease extension regime as applicable to shared ownership leases. We'll look at recent changes to model shared ownership leases. The main focus of today's session will be on Homes England model leases. That's because the vast majority of shared ownership leases in recent times have been on or based on the terms of those model leases. We'll consider the right of preemption, staircasing, restrictions on subletting, and also some of the differences in the versions of different model leases, including a brief consideration of leases that predated the advent of model leases, which may not be on the terms that we are familiar with as compared with more modern shared ownership leases. We'll also consider how planning obligations can overlap with the terms of shared ownership leases, and also consider matters to do with service charges in under leases of shared ownership leases. So the next point is to consider the nature of shared ownership, which has been described by a Commons Library research briefing paper as a complicated hybrid tenure, which can be difficult for potential buyers, especially first-time buyers, to understand. This complexity is compounded by variations in product names used by different providers and the range of additional eligibility requirements across different localities. Also, a lack of awareness and understanding is regarded as a key barrier to extending shared ownership. It is indeed something which can be difficult for people to understand, that they often will not be aware before they are in receipt of legal advice that in fact what they're doing is acquiring a share in the equity with a right to acquire additional shares, and in most cases that would be up to 100% of the equity.